Okay, let's do a general message. I just have like so much I want to talk about, but I don't know which pen's gonna work. Let me see. Well, that's a good one. I'm like a pen person. Is anybody out there like that? You know what I mean? Like, pens are everything. Having a really nice pen to write with just changes everything. It like really affects the energy I'm not getting. I prefer to write with a fountain pen, but my ink is out. So I have this little doodad right here. This should work. Okay, so here we go. We got a general message here. I feel like if you're going to resonate with this, unless it's reversed, or maybe this is going to resonate with someone somehow connected to you and they're dealing with this or needing to kind of deal with this, I feel like we need to have a talk. We need to have a conversation. You know, somebody's, yesterday we talked about an internal dialogue. Same thing here, but it's different. In this message, whether related or unrelated to the other one, is someone does have an internal dialogue here where there's questions, there's things that, this is such an unflattering, god-awful look right now. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm like, man, is this not awful lighting? It's so bad. I do need to wash my hair too. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let me focus. Yeah. So somebody here has got a lot they need to like talk about and go ahead and get it out of the way before we move further. It's like we need to talk about this. If anyone has any doubts or any insecurities or any type, this needs to be something that someone says from the jump, like needs to get it out and not let it like build. So I feel like there's things that need to be discussed here. How someone could be feeling about you in the romantic department, whether you're with them, talking to them, they're interested in you, whatever, is rather positive. I mean, they see you doing your thing. They see you being quite independent and maybe even talented. But there's a part of them where they have these type of what you could call concerns. There is something here that someone has, and it would be considered like concerns. They're concerns. Now, some of the concerns, maybe they're, I don't know, practical concerns, logical concerns. And some of them could be from paranoia, from jealousy, from programming, from judgment, being too judgmental, can be from being controlling. I mean, what is it? And the only way we're going to know is if this person really opens up and talks to you about it, vice versa. It could be reversed. So basically, I feel extremely drained right now. And I'm not drained. I woke up with a lot of energy, but something said I need to get this message out. Like I was feeling it strong this morning. I know that it's kind of a gloomy day today, and sometimes my mood can be highly affected by the weather and the seasons. But I was pretty good this morning, and I tap into this energy, and it's like, what's your problem? Is how I'm feeling it, right? So I feel like somebody here, there is something that someone has a problem with. There's something someone has a problem with. Yeah, I was wondering if I said that right. Yeah, somebody here has a problem with something when it comes to another, a romantic love interest, a romantic partner, I mean, whatever it looks like, or will, if this hasn't happened yet. And that's fine, problems arise, but it's like, we need to talk about it, and we need to see if this is even cohesive, if this is even something that can move forward, because if this is your problem or your concern, cool, that's fine, I validate your concern, and we need to see if it's something that we're willing to change, or even need to change, or if it's something that that person, the one who has the concern, needs to change. You know what I mean? I feel like the word here is a strong word I'm about to use, or words rather that I'm about to use, but the words coming to me are red flags. There's something to do with red flags. I think both people are going to have red flags. I think the person who has the concerns, whatever they are the red flags. And the person who is going to receive the concerns coming from someone is going to be like, okay, well, your concerns are a red flag to me. Because your concerns tell me that maybe you're stuck in a box, or maybe you're judgmental, or maybe you care too much what people think, or maybe you're not very open-minded, or maybe you're jealous, maybe you're controlling. Your concerns tell me that I need to step back a little bit because I got some red flags on you now. Now you got red flags on me. Now listen, someone's concerns may be valid. They may be You know, it depends on what's going on here. The only way we're going to know is if we sit down and have a conversation. But it almost feels like there's a little tiny bit, whether anybody's talked about it or not, it being the concerns. It's being swept under the rug right now, and we need to be like brutally blunt with each other in relationships here, or even the people we're like wanting to know romantically. That's the only way to, I mean, what are we doing here? You know, it's just to say it. You know, if someone has a concern, it's like, say it, ask your question, or state whatever you have a concern about, and then I will honestly and bluntly state the reply to it, and then we'll move forward from there. I mean, what is this tiptoeing in my Jordans type energy here? It's like tiptoeing around, tiptoeing around. It's because change will happen. So people don't like change. Change makes people uncomfortable. And so, which is understandable, I get that, but like, why wait? You know what I mean? Wouldn't we want to get that out right now? Wouldn't we want to just get it out in the open and be like, look, what's your concern? Just spit it out. Why would we hold it in there? If you have a loogie and you hawk it, wouldn't you take it the rest of the way and just spit it out? You're going to swallow it. What you going to do? I mean, that's an awful example, but something to do with drainage or draining. I keep getting that for people. A lot of people on drainage right now. It's just not unheard of, I guess, for the times. But anyway, yeah, so we got somebody with some concerns, and then you've got someone here who's like, what that's going to do is one person here, I mean, both people are intelligent, but what's going to happen is one person's going to feel the other person has these concerns and isn't just like, you know, and then they're going to feel some type of way about it, like, well, what's going to happen now? Or is this going to affect our connection or the potential of a connection with me or our relationship if we're already in one? Is it going to affect it if I don't address your concern with what you want me to address it with? That shouldn't be a worry at all. Nobody here should be trying to tweak someone's concern, unless it's a legitimate one. Tweak someone's concern so that they don't lose them. If I lose you, I lose you. I mean, it is what it is. Like, let's say someone has a concern. It's like two people start dating. I'm just throwing this out here, and this is not going to be a fan favorite, I'll tell you that. People are not going to like what I'm about to say. But let's say somebody comes in and they start dating someone, and they say, you know what, I don't like how much time you spend with your child. And it's like, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. You don't like that I spend that much time with my kids, or that I put my kids above a partner? Goodbye. Okay, that's fine. You can believe that way. I'm not telling you you're wrong, but don't you dare tell me I'm wrong. See, my kids were first. My kids were before you. See, some people don't believe like that. But that's why I said it's not going to be a favorite. It's going to be a very unpopular opinion with some people. But anyway, so you got one person here will have the concern. I feel like you spoil your child, and the other person, they might address the concern, or might be pressured internally to address the concern by saying, okay, maybe, you know, maybe I do. Whereas it's like inwardly, what they really feel is, no, I don't. My kid was here first, or my kids were here first, right? That's just an example. Of course, that doesn't have to be anybody's exact example. But let's say someone says, I have a concern that maybe you drink a lot, or you might hang around some people that are into some things that are kind of illegal, and it's just a little bit concerning for me because being with you would introduce that into my kids' lives or into my life, and I don't necessarily want that, so I do have a concern. That's a legitimate concern. I don't know anybody that would argue with that. Oh, well, you know what, you're just judging me. It's like, am I though? It's actually illegal, isn't it? It's illegal, and it could kill you, but it's, I mean, driving could kill you, but it's illegal. That's the number one thing. And then that could, so that I could see. I mean, it's just logic, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So, all that being said, basically, the only thing I could say here is two people need to sit down, if these are people entertaining a relationship with one another, or two people who are already in it or whatever, and discuss the concerns, discuss if they're even logical or not, and how the other person's going to take it. I think both people need to be blunt. It can't just be one person, like one person being blunt about either their concerns or being blunt about their situation, and the other one not able to be blunt about their response to the concern or being blunt about their concerns. Am I making sense? I know it's confusing, and it doesn't have to be. Like, none of this has to get confusing. It's a matter of speaking it as soon as we see it, speaking it as soon as we feel it, because maybe our concerns are ridiculous. Maybe we are jealous. Maybe we are controlling. Maybe we are programmed, and maybe we've believed a certain way and it's time for us to do some tweaking. Maybe our concerns is because we are so like brainwashed that life has to be a certain way and a person has to act a certain way, or, you know, what would our family think? Maybe we need to tweak our concerns. Maybe we have some issues, but maybe we have legitimate concerns and the person needs to tweak their actions and maybe needs to listen a little bit and hear somebody out that maybe they could adjust some things on their end. You see what I'm saying? And the only way we're going to know that is if we open up and talk about it. So to me, in this message today, there's some issues that need to be addressed, and they don't need to go unattended to. Absolutely not at all. Because, well, that's just like a wreck waiting to happen. A disaster waiting to happen. Should I title it that? I really don't. I'm not trying to be all negative, but this is negative. I mean, it is. Because what's negative here, the most negative thing, is the fear. The fear. The fear coming from, why aren't we just putting it all on the table right now? Because either one person might be asking the question or questions, if there's more than one, about something. It could be anything. And the other person here, one person's kind of afraid to give the answer. That's what it feels like. Or maybe one person is afraid to ask the concern because they're afraid of what the answer is going to be. And it's like, why don't we just spit it out? Let's flush the fear down the toilet. This doesn't have to be a disaster that's going to happen. Let's get it out of the way right now. You know? This is paranoia. So hold on. Disaster waiting to happen. Like, this is one of those messages where I would say this is just a matter of time before shit hits the fan. And that would be, especially if two people are already dating now, or already together. Because, well, we're going to just pretend this ain't something in our minds right now and then just let it go on until later on it becomes a big deal? No, we need to talk about it right now. I don't give a shit if it's uncomfortable, you know, whatever, I don't care. Because then if we decide that, you know, if I'm not for you, I'm not for you, goodbye. And that's okay. I'm not going to be mad at you that I'm not for you. We could end this and be cordial and act like we never even met each other. Or we could be, what's that called? Amicable. Yeah, goodbye. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be mad at you and try to smear your name because it didn't work out and be like, oh, you know what? He or she did this thing and they were all about this and they believed this way. They had these beliefs. You know, this is why I wasn't with them because, you know, some people will do that. In fact, we used to do it. Did we not? Where it doesn't work out with somebody and maybe it was something just the difference in things, you know, and when we had to go all the way out, we had to do the most to make people realize why it just didn't, because they're like, man, y'all already broke up or it didn't work out or you guys already stopped talking, and why can't we just leave it at that and just have people who are wondering that just get over it? Yeah, it's over. That's it. Why? None of your business. That's why. You don't like that? Go watch TV or something. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be rude, but seriously though, what do you mean? So, but people don't do that. It's like when things end, then we have to like try to ruin each other and be like, well, you know what, it didn't because, well, I was doing everything, but this person, you know, I had some concerns and this person, and there were some things we butted heads on, and it's like, just stop. Just really stop. We're all adults here. Quit doing that. What are we, in high school? I hate that, you know, but we all did it. I did it. I did it a lot. That's why I don't date. Because I'm still tweaking myself. I'm still working on myself heavily, and also I just see love differently. I don't know if I even came here for that. I'm open, but I'm quite content this way. I can definitely love, and I'm open. I have a very open heart to love, and I do believe in romance, and I do believe in a partner, and I definitely do for other people. Like, again, I repeat this often, but I feel like I have to. I believe that some people did come here to do the whole marriage thing and to fall in love in that way and to claim each other, and I call it trap each other, but that's not to be disrespectful to them. They like it. I mean, it's consensual trapping. They want to trap each other. There's nothing wrong with it if it's consensual. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But some of us didn't. Anyway, saying all that, if we get it out of the way now, we can just go ahead and end things, you know, because I can tell you right now, there's some things here that are, unless we're willing to work on them and change them, and it's something we can, this is just literally a disaster waiting to happen. So there's so many examples I could give in regards to this. It's just a matter of, I usually sit down and write them all, but I was actually I knew what I was going to talk about in this message today. So, I just sat down here and started talking about them. And, yeah. There's an awkwardness here in this message. It's very awkward between two people right now. Do you guys feel that energy? Perhaps you're experiencing this with a person where it's a little awkward. There's an awkward air between possibly you and another, or if this isn't your message, it might be something coming, or it could be what someone's experiencing with another, but somehow they're connected to you. Their connection with another is awkward right now. And it's awkward because there's concerns that either have already been stated and they're, again, legitimate, or they're ridiculous. And or the person who's receiving the concerns is, you get it. It's a little confusing. It feels like an unnecessary inception of drama waiting to root and seed inside of someone and just grow. Emphasis on Capricorn, because I believe I talked about my potato that's growing roots out of it in a Capricorn message, and I'm seeing that again here. Yeah, I mean, what's the big deal? Like, let's just talk about it. Let's put it all out on the table. I mean, now this isn't about, like, I'm talking about here in this message, two people who are already talking to each other, already kind of getting to know one another, or already just started dating, or already together. Not, this wouldn't be like a stranger coming to you and addressing a concern with you. You don't have to answer any. If you're on a romantic level with somebody, or that's the direction we're going, or we're interested, even kind of like friends, and we're kind of moving in that direction, okay then. But I'm not talking about a stranger has a concern with you. You don't have to address everybody that has a concern. This is about people who are like, we're actively getting to know each other and things like that. So let's get it all out on the table right now. Either you like me or you don't. The thing is, about everybody here needs to be authentic, and as authentic as possible. Sometimes we think we're authentic, but we don't. We're authentically programmed, or we're authentically disillusioned. We're authentically, you know. And I know that because I've been that my whole life myself, where I think I'm being authentic, but I'm authentically full of shit, you know. And it's just because I truly thought that's who I was at the time. Like when I got married, I thought I was authentic. No, absolutely not. Because why was I doing that? Because I felt like I had to. I felt like I had to get married. I felt like, well, I already have a daughter, so I should probably create a family for her and a life and stability. Why is that stability? Why does getting married have to be stability? I could be stable without getting married. The fuck? So I pushed myself behind on that. It doesn't matter. I learned. So I was being as authentic as I thought I was. You know what I mean? But that was just because that was my understanding at the time. Anyway, if two people here are just being authentic as they possibly can with each other, authentic about their consent, then we're gonna be able to see that neither person is trying to impress the other one. You know, if we're getting the ugly out now and being like, look, this is something I kind of don't like, it makes me uncomfortable, and it's like, okay, and either it's legitimate or it's not. Either it's something where it's like, okay, maybe you're right. I'm sorry if you're right. Maybe it is something I should work on. I've never had anybody bring that concern to me, but maybe it is something I just didn't see. Or maybe it's ridiculous and it's like something about your character. It's like, I don't like that you cuss a lot, or I don't like that you're so vulgar, or you know what, I don't know if that would really be a fit for my family. And it's like, that's your prerogative. You have every right to have those concerns, and in that case, goodbye. It was a pleasure meeting you. You know what I mean? Because I'm like straight up not going to tiptoe around and feel like I have to impress people. I'm not gonna do it. It would be different if this wasn't who I was, but I am this way. So I'm not gonna change who I am unless it's something like, I can change a habit, I can change something I do, but I'm not gonna change who I am for the likes of being accepted by you or your friends or family or something. You know, this can go a million different ways, but this is about getting it out now, not avoiding a disaster, living in it, creating it. Let's go ahead and let's start this tornado right now. Let's go ahead and, why are we waiting to put the clothes in the washer and dryer, or putting them in the dryer out of the washer? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and just rip this part of, why do we wait so long when we know we need to do something? When the moment the like red flags arise, it's like, say it, spit it out. Just go ahead and fucking do it. And that way we can avoid bullshit later on. I make it sound easy, but it is actually easy. When I was in it though, when I experienced this a lot, it wasn't easy, and I get that, but I guess over time you start to realize, like, what is it about getting it out of there, just going ahead and getting it out, that makes it not easy? One, because we're afraid of change. We're afraid it's going to change how the person sees us. If we're just open about it, we're afraid the relationship's going to change. We're afraid they won't like us anymore, or that we're going to offend them. Intentions are everything. If we're not trying to offend someone, if we're not trying to be mean or controlling or possessive or judgmental or programmed or whatever, and we're just genuinely asking, either we're going to learn something about ourselves, that maybe we are being a little ridiculous and closed-minded or jealous or controlling, or we're going to see that we're right, and either the person is able to be open and willing to adjust some things, or they're not. And either way, they have a right to be how they are, that's them, and we have a right to see things how we do, and we can go our separate ways and in peace. You know, we don't have to hate each other and smear each other and be like, you know, this person's got a lot of work to do. Well, we all got a lot of work to do. We all got a whole lot of work to do. And honestly, none of us really know anything. We know a lot about what we know, but there's so many paths in this life. There's so many paths, and how can we only go our life only knowing one way? Something I really love about, I don't really get into religion anymore. I grew up very religious. But I respect people who are religious if that's their thing, but as long as they respect me for being open. I'm just open-minded to knowing that not everybody sees the same way. Anyway, one thing I do really like about, my understanding, remember, this is just as far as I know it right now. I'm always subject to change and see more. But one thing I do like about what I've learned about preachers is that when they go to seminary, is that what it's called, school? If they even do that, they don't all do that, but they don't just learn one way. Like, I'm pretty sure preachers and priests and all that, they don't learn one religion, they learn a lot. At least the ones I've met, they told me that. They learned different beliefs and all that, which I think is important, because how else could you can't just teach me one way. I need to, what if I have questions about something else? How are you going to be able to, I need a contrast here. How are you going to be able to help me in this way if you don't know this way? I need someone who's lived here, who's lived and learned, who can really, not just because this is the only way they see, and this is the way, and this is the way we go to school, go to school, go to school. What? This is the way we wash our hands early in the morning. I don't know why I'm singing this, singing this, singing this. I don't know why I'm singing this. Some of you, I don't know why I'm getting something to do with getting up real early in the morning and rushing out the door and not having enough time to like brush our teeth, wash our hands, or someone's really stickler on it. Stickler. Someone's a stickler on making sure their hygiene is the utmost important. And yeah, those things. I don't know, something to do with that here. Why am I saying that? I don't know. So yeah, all right. I like this message. It's a really nice message. So I guess we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for being here with me. This is awful lighting. I'm like so washed out. I feel like my head is my neck and my neck is my head. Look at it. Just like my tits are bigger than my head. Oh God. All right, guys. Thank you for being here with me. And I'll try
talk to you later. Bye.